I feel bad because I'm dragging Austin out here at night because I'm like nocturnal. And like, you normally work out what, morning or during the day?
Like 1, 2 p.m.
Okay.
I never work out at night.
It's about to be 9 p.m. right now, guys. So yeah. It's
it's all good though.
Yeah. It's a blessing.
Anyways, guys, welcome to the video. Obviously, I have a special guest with me today, and this is a place where people rarely see you, man.
Yeah.
People know that you work out, but
Yeah.
you really haven't seen exactly what you do or how you train.
Yeah.
Unless they follow you on Instagram.
Yeah, and I don't even post on there all the time, like my workouts and stuff. So you guys are getting an exclusive.
Exactly.
I haven't done a workout vlog. I think you're the first person I've done a workout vlog.
Exactly. I haven't seen it. That's why
Yeah,
I do it. Yeah.
the first one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I come from a fitness background. So does Myron with his brand Unplugged Fitness. You actually used to do, or you still do fitness coaching?
Yeah.
A little bit. Okay.
Yeah, I do. Not as much as before, just because like from a time perspective, but still do it. But like with less clients.
Gotcha. Cool. So today we're gonna see how Myron works out. I'm following his workout routine he has set for me today. You guys know I do a bit of calisthenics, weighted calisthenics, and weightlifting. But I think today we're gonna do strictly weightlifting, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do some calisthenics as well. You know, we're here with Austin. We got to do a little bit of calisthenics. Come on, man.
All right, let's get into it, man.
Yeah, man. So what I'll normally start with, so the way I have my split setup is I'll train somewhere between 3 to 5 times a week, and I'll hit every body part twice. So what I do is I'll do one full body workout, and then I'll do a weak point day. So the full body workout, I'll start with legs, then I'll do a push movement and a pull movement. Typically it'll look something like, maybe I'll start with like lunges, then I'll go into pull-ups, then I'll go into like some kind of pressing with a bench press. Then on my weak point day, I'll start with shoulders, because that's always been a weak point for me as far as like the lateral delts, and then arms, right? I've always had like, I can't pass 16-inch arms, it sucks. But anyway, it's always been a weak point for me. So I'll do shoulders. So today's a weak point day, shoulders, and then we're gonna add in a little bit of calisthenics as well. And we're gonna hit biceps and triceps as well with some compound movements. So normally I've been doing seated shoulder press. I kind of stepped away from the OH overhead press for a bit, but since we're in in this fantastic gym, we're gonna start with OHP. So I like to do like 2 or 3 warm-up sets.
I had to get on my tippy toes. Now I know you're a tall guy, obviously, and for that reason, calisthenics tends to be harder for taller guys.
Yeah.
But have you ever tried handstand push-up?
I can't do the handstand push.
Have you tried it on the wall?
I've tried it like years ago and I failed, and I was like, man,
Gotcha. Yeah, it's usually harder for taller guys, so it makes sense.
But pull-ups have always been pretty good for me. I mean, I struggled at first because my arms are just so long. But I've always been like a big fan of pull-ups, chin-ups, obviously push-ups. For push-ups, I had to do that because I used to work in law enforcement. So like, you gotta be able to do push-ups. But yeah, man, it's amazing how like muscle mass you can build and or even retain just off of doing calisthenics. Like, it's kind of underrated. People think, oh, I'm just gonna lose muscle mass from doing calisthenics, but there's been like some research out there that like all the way up to like 30 reps will help you build muscle mass, 30 to 35 reps.
No matter the resistance.
Yeah. You know, so you don't need as much resistance as people think to, build an aesthetic physique and get some lean mass on your frame. So
Facts.
it's interesting, man, because it's like one of 2 things happens when you come to Miami. You either get inspired and you work harder, or you come here and you just fuck off and party and go crazy. So many people come here and they just start partying at their club every day, and next thing you know, they're like, oh shit, I'm broke now, or they don't know what the fuck's going on.
You can't fall into the Miami trap, man.
Yeah,
come here, focus.
Yeah, you have to, man. Like, and I think one of the best ways to people might get mad at me for saying this, quit drinking. That's by far the best way to get productive immediately. Because a lot of people, they don't know when to turn it off. They'll start drinking and they'll go party, whatever, and it's very difficult to escape that fucking pattern once you're in it, right? You start binge drinking, you're going out, oh, this is fun. You wake up the next day, you feel like shit. You're like, damn, how do I circumvent this? Oh, I'll just drink some more. Oh, hangover gone. And then they just keep doing the same dumb shit over. And people do that. They'll party for a week straight. And it's just like...
And if you're a guy in Miami and you're drinking, partying, that's a money trap, bro. Because as a guy, you need to know people or know girls or have some sort of access. Otherwise, you're paying top dollar just to go in places.
Facts.
So
facts. Like, yeah, as a dude, if you want to party in Miami, you're gonna have to spend a lot of money to even just get in a lot of the times or whatever. And I think guys forget that like the nightlife experience for you as a man versus as a woman are completely different. Absolutely different. For girls, they could go out, not spend a fucking dollar, not drink, and still be able to get crazy experience. You, on the other hand, you got to pay a bunch of money. Like, it's stupid.
Not worth it.
Nightlife's a scam. I think fine dining and nightlife are both scams. I'm gonna be honest.
Dining, that's the first. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think fine dining is a scam, bro. Like, it's bullshit. Like, the food isn't even that great. What you're really paying for is like for the experience, you know, for the service, you know what I mean? For you know, to be able to say, oh, I'm at this place. So I mean, yeah. But then again, I'm a minimalist, so like that's my take on it. I genuinely think fine dining is a fucking scam.
Damn, that's interesting.
Yeah.
One thing I'm noticing now is that you really don't like go heavy, like 5 reps.
Yeah.
Really heavy weight. You keep it kind of light.
Yeah. So I like to stay in the rep range. I don't like to do less than 6. Okay. So like, and if I do end up where like, let's say I overestimated myself and I do a set and I only knock out 4, I'll immediately go into a strip set after that. Okay. To like get that volume back.
So Myron, since you hate fine dining, what do you eat on a daily basis? Do you meal prep? Do you cook?
Yeah, so I eat a lot of Chipotle. It's like one of my favorites. I drink a lot of shakes. I'll typically eat 1 or 2 big solid meals a day, and then in between have like high protein snacks.
Okay, that's pretty standard. Yeah. That, yeah.
I used to have a meal prep service, which I advocate like everyone should get one. If you're making like 100K plus a year, like you might as well just start getting meal prep service because cooking is not in your best interest most of the time, bro. It actually, you waste a lot of time cooking, like where you could have been using that time to make more money. Because like between going to the grocery store, getting the shit, preparing it, cooking, cleaning up, all this other crap, you know, God forbid you take a Sunday where you're like sitting there cooking and meal prepping, bro, it's a waste of fucking time. You could hire somebody to do that shit for you, pay like $100 a week and just like get it done easily and you don't gotta worry about that. So I think meal prep services are good too. The reason why I stopped is because my schedule is so weird that it's like, I noticed that like a lot of the food be left over. I wouldn't finish it, so like shit. Like, yeah. And honestly, you make I think even if you're making like 80K plus a year, like you should think, and you're serious about like the gym and you know living a healthy lifestyle. I think you want to outsource that immediately to like a meal prep service, bro. Like you'll be amazed at how much time you free up when you don't cook. Austin, what do you think is going to be the future of dating with the explosion of like social media usage? You know, guys are out here struggling.
Yeah, I think every year it just tends to go more and more online based. And I think actually with the invention of the Apple Vision Pro and just overall VR, that online dating is going to go more towards a virtual reality sort of thing. So we saw it in the cell phone. I think in the next few years, people are going to be doing Tinder on VR, swiping right and left and having virtual dates in a VR sort of space. So I think that's going to make dating potentially even more competitive just from VR in itself. But I believe everything's going online, bro.
Do you think they're going to be talking to like real girls, or they're going to be talking to like AI chicks?
That's interesting. I think it's a combination of both. I didn't think about the AI part.
Yeah.
I think it's a combination of both.
Like there's AI girlfriends now.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, I've seen like some clips in Japan, like guys are like coming home and there's like an AI girlfriend and shit.
Yeah.
And like talking to them and it's just like, holy fuck, like this is where we're going.
Like that and robots in the future.
Yeah.
Robot.
I think sex dolls are going to be a thing. I genuinely think that like investing in sex dolls isn't a joke anymore. Like you used to be like, ha, let's invest in sex dolls. I genuinely think that that's where we're going to go pretty soon. Like what I'm realizing is female standards are going up while male quality has been going down, right? So you got this gap here, right? Who's gonna fill that gap? There's only a small percentage of guys that these girls are, right? Like I think some of them, and people use dating apps and they say, oh, dating apps aren't real life or whatever, but they're very good for like assessing people's true nature and what they want. And it says something like 80 to 90% of men are found as unattractive on like most dating apps, and women only swipe right on like 5% of guys. On like Bumble, like 90% of men are invisible. So it's like, I predict it gets worse before it gets better, and social media, dating apps become more prominent. The more things go online, the worse it is going to be for most guys, because unfortunately, you can't show your charisma online. You can't really show your, charm or wittiness or whatever online. Like you have to do that in person.
Some dating apps try to, like Hinge, for example.
Yeah.
Through the prompts and you can add your voice to your profile and all that stuff. They try to, but still, it's very looks heavy. It's very presentation heavy.
Yeah.
And so that's what I help guys with. Actually,
Yes.
That's my business. I help guys present themselves better.
Yes.
Through like learning how to take pictures, learning how to maximize their sex appeal, getting in the gym, getting their body right, etc. Because I've seen the disparity of the guys who are making it versus the guys who are not. And even if you just view online dating from a female perspective, it's actually very bad. Like, I see why a lot of guys aren't getting results.
They suck at taking pictures and taking selfies. Like, even if they do got a good physique, they're taking stupid like bathroom selfies that make them look low value. So it's like, and hell, there's a lot of guys that are like good looking but still struggle with it. Like, a lot of people that say, it's all looks. Like, there's plenty of dudes that they're calling like gym cells or whatever that are very attractive, very aesthetic, but they still can't get girls because they're awkward, they're shy, timid, can't convey themselves properly,
or don't put themselves out there.
They don't want to go out, so it's like, or like they don't want to cold approach chicks like during the day. So it's like all these things. But I think, and then obviously social media, texting, this whole world of like people just like messaging each other versus like having a conversation. Like, one thing I've noticed about like young people, right? Because my brother, he's in his early 20s. Whenever I talk about young guys, they'll come to me, ask for advice or whatever, they have issues with communicating, if that makes sense. Like, they stutter a lot, they get really nervous, they're not able to convey themselves properly. They speak from what I call like a passive voice versus like an active voice. They'll say things like, what do you think about this? Or I think this, whatever, instead of saying, well, I know this, or hey, this is whatever. They don't speak in a more authoritative tonality, and women pick up on that shit, guys. They really do. Yeah. Like, if you're not sure yourself when you speak, or you like kind of phrase things in a way where it's like you need her validation, like they could pick up on that, and they start to lose attraction quick.
Because that signals that your value is lower than her.
Yes.
Especially when you're trying to qualify yourself to a woman too.
Yeah.
That sets the frame and the dynamic.
Yep.
So whenever you speak better, whenever you convey yourself better, lead, you're positioning yourself in a dominant masculine frame that a woman can fall into and follow.
Yeah.
So,
like, you never want to talk in a passive voice, like with chicks. Like, you don't want to be like, oh, well, I think this, or what do you think about this, or hey, how do you feel about, like, fuck her opinion, and who cares? Like, it's got to be what you want to do, and then she follows along. That's how it's got to be.
All right, guys, we're on set number, has to be at least 7 by now.
Another complaint that we get from girls, because like we like to ask girls on the show, hey, what is some of the biggest things that you've noticed when you meet with guys? And one of them is bad hygiene, right? Really bad hygiene. They smell, their skin's fucked up, or they don't take care of themselves. And the other one is they're boring. So one is, I mean, it's a no-brainer, but guys, shower every single day. Okay.
Brush your teeth.
Get your teeth white and straight. That helps a lot, right? It's a status symbol. And keep your hair nice and kept, like, shave. Make sure if you're gonna have a beard, it's nice and trimmed. You don't look like shit all the time. And I'm not telling you guys to wear designer, because I think the designer's a scam too. Fine dining designer, they're all scams. However, you could definitely like look good wearing cheap clothes if your body's on point.
Yeah.
Right? And then the other thing too that not enough people talk about is like a lot of guys are boring, bro. They're fucking boring. Like, they'll be there on a date with a girl, they don't have anything interesting to say. All they can talk about is work or whatever. One thing I would say is like learn a bunch of like interesting little facts and like kind of bring it up sporadically during the date, because it's like conversation starters. Like, you know what? Like, you know how Snapple used to have like those little facts on the bottom of the lid? Some shit like that. Like, get like some
Laffy Taffy.
Like Laffy Taffy facts or Snapple.
Yeah.
Like, bro, have a bunch of those, because like what ends up happening is like, oh, did you know XYZ? That's like a date starter. And what it does for you as the guy is it puts you in an authority position where you're conveying knowledge and competence, and girls like that. They want to be with a guy that they're like, oh wow,
can learn
this guy's smart. I can learn from this guy. So like, you always want to be leading the conversation and like bringing in like interesting little facts that they can like learn from. Now, here's the thing: some girls are bimbos and they're just going, whatever. So try to go out with a chick that's like at least inquisitive, right? I'm not telling you guys to like go out there with a genius, but at least get with a girl that's like somewhat inquisitive. The reality is like a lot of hot girls aren't, but they're out there. Y'all can find some, or like some cute girls that are inquisitive. I'll take a cool mid chick over a bad chick that's stupid any day.
Yeah.
For like
Same.
for like a wife. For short term, who cares? But like for long term, you definitely want a girl that's not a movie.
So guys, up next we're doing a closed grip bench press. We're just gonna work the tricep and the chest, obviously. Superset it with chin-ups or pull-ups. Regarding the dating stuff, I remember a few years ago, you were actually a big advocate of cold approaching.
Yes.
Now with your current status level, kind of what you got going on in your life, are you still an advocate of that personally for you? Or do you use other means and methods to attract leads, or do you not even focus on?
No, that's a really good question actually. So I still do cold approach. I just don't do it as much as I used to. So luckily, I guess it's good and bad. Like a lot of the times, because girls don't watch the kind of content that we make a lot of times, right? Mm-hmm. So they might not know who I am when I like approach them. But then if we exchange socials or whatever, because girls always want your Instagram at some point, they'll research like, oh, I've seen you before, and then one of two things happens. Either they're like, okay, it's cool because I met you before, so like whatever, or they're like, oh no, you're an asshole, blah blah blah. But rarely does that happen if I like pull a photo. But if I like meet her online, and then she like researches and she finds out, I've had it before where they're like, oh, I've seen your videos, you're an asshole. Yeah. So I've definitely lost leads from like the shit that we post. But if I cold approach her, it's less rare because like they meet you in person, they're kind of like, oh well, you might look like an asshole online, but I met you in person and shit like that. So that's different. But yeah, I don't cold approach as much. So what are your thoughts on girls that like have had like athlete or celebrity exes?
To me, it's always a red flag.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll bring it up almost like bragging.
Yeah.
It's actually even more of a red flag.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you're okay with dealing with high status men like that and them not taking you seriously.
Yeah.
Like that kind of gives me like groupie vibes.
Yep.
I never liked a girl who sort of showed that behavior.
Yeah.
Like, even if she has a celebrity crush, if she's been with athletes, especially if she consistently only dates NFL players or NBA players, which I have also dealt with too.
Yeah.
Immediately disqualified, immediate red flag.
Yep.
And I just don't like it.
Because 9 out of 10 times, what girls will do, and I've noticed this so often, they'll say, I dated this dude, but the reality is like, yo, who just smashed you? He never took you seriously. He never claimed you. Like, in your head, you think so because girls, I've always said like girls are fantastic. Yeah, like they're fantastic at like lying to themselves if they like the guy, but they're also fantastic at telling themselves the truth if they don't like the guy. So if she's like barely with you, you're getting her by the skin of your teeth and you're a brokey, you're weird, etc. You stink, she'll tell herself, oh, I can do better, this guy's a loser, whatever. She'll tell herself the reality when she don't like you. But when she does like you, she'll lie to herself and be like, oh, I just gotta beat out this one girl, or no, he likes me a lot, like I know he has a main chick, but he doesn't take her as serious as me. Like girls will lie to themselves to fit whatever narrative makes them feel better, is what I've realized. Body positivity, all this shit, like I hate to say it, but like girls can literally live in a bizarro world and make it through life, bro. Like they can sit there. I remember we had a girl on like last week. Oh, I feel like I'm special. Okay, tell us what makes you special. She rattles off all the same shit that all the other girls on the panel said, but she still sits there and says, but I feel special. So I'm like, okay, with that mindset, I feel like a trillionaire. Yeah, we're all trillionaires. What do you think? Okay, if you feel that way, what the fuck? Like,
man, we have to live in reality because they have the ability to have that delusional mindset without any consequence because nobody challenges them on the idea either.
Yeah, bro. And I don't think guys get it. Like, if a girl's very attractive, she might have went a majority of her life without ever being told no by a man. Bro, like I really want guys to like understand this shit. Like sometimes you might be the first dude that told her no. Like and that's why she likes you and respects you. But like if you're over here just being a doormat, whatever, all the time, like it's like, oh, you're like every other guy. So
sides. I'm not gonna lie, Myron is one of the most respectable, personable, realist, non-fake guys I've met in my time in YouTube. And I've been doing this like nearly a decade, honestly. So I do appreciate that.
No, I appreciate that, man. That's why, right? When you messaged me, I was like, fuck yeah, like whatever you want, like let's do it. Because like you've always been a really humble, cool guy, and I fuck with that, man. And then also, I agree with like 99% of the things you say. You even see me, I be commenting on your shit on YouTube.
Yeah.
So you already know I agree and fuck with your stuff. So it's like, and I look at it like guys like us need to definitely unite because like we already got crazy radical left, the weird liberals, you know, feminism, all these people coming in to attack guys like us. So it's like we got to stand together. We really do. So, you know, and that's why like people can like recognize us in the gym or yell from across because like we're saying what everyone is thinking, but they're too scared to say or they can't say.